lovely afternoon to you. Welcome to your favorite news and current affairs program, 60 Minutes Nigeria, with your anchor, Erosa Agmola. Today's program promises to bring you the very best of analysis. We'll be dissecting national issues on the show. And of course, you won't be disappointed at all. I have very eminent personalities with me today to dissect the topics that we have at hand. We'll be looking at the fallout of the APC Congress across the country. It has generated dust, it has generated reactions, and so we'll be looking at that, and of course, the way forward. After that, we'll be looking at plans by political parties in Nigeria to wrestle power in 2019. Plans by political parties to win 2019 election. We're going to look at how feasible that is with the maneuverings, with parties, the merger going on, the discussions going on. We'll be looking at all of that. Joining me, we have a veteran politician with us, Comrade Godwin Irahon. Nice to have you in the studio today.
Bless you, my brother.
We also have a very important personality, a former governorship candidate in the last Edo State governorship election, Bishop Akalame. Nice to have you.
Good afternoon, International.
You are welcome.
Good afternoon, viewers.
Okay, now, the topic at hand, fallout of APC Congress across the country. You will agree with me that APC crisis in different states, including Imo, Enugu, Rivers, even in Edo, seem to be worsened with the World Congress, the local government Congress. It triggers the crisis. But the national body of the APC also responded positively to ameliorate the crisis, to resolve the crisis, and we'll be looking at all that. Party members, Born Local Government Secretariat, these are some of the news that featured after the Congress. Parallel congresses in some states. Okorocha battles for survival in Imo was headlined, the governor of Imo State. But later the governor actually made it clear what transpired in Imo, the parallel congress that took place, how some persons allegedly stole election materials. And of course, we saw Jimoh Moshood, the first the PPRO of the first headquarters of the Nigerian police force, who actually paraded some persons allegedly in possession of election materials. That happened in Imo under Governor Rochas Okorocha. In Rivers, it was crisis galore between the Minister of Transport and former Governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, and another senator. The loyalists of these two important personalities are loggerheads during the Congress. So many issues cropped up, and I must tell you that APC to aggrieved members, and what they told them so clear: seek redress through appeal panels. That is from the APC national body. So we just get started with Comrade Godwin Irahon. What's your take on the fallout of the APC Congress, the World Congress, the Local Government Congress, the APC Congress?
Well, first, as usual, I want to be clear that I'm here to speak for myself, not on behalf of anybody. Looking at the congresses and the crisis that followed, there are so many angles to it. One of them being that in most cases, every ruling party in this country, party that is in charge of states, several states, and majority of states and the federal government, there is so much desperation among leaders. They're desperate to be in charge. If not properly managed, that is what normally leads to the fall of ruling parties.
Okay.
Because when people who have no money to buy their way into the system, who have no money to lobby people and others, who maybe are more friendly with the power that be, then such people, by the time they hijack the system, In most cases, such persons are not on ground in their area. I have, for example, in my local government, one of the persons whom I know were ostracized from their community, who goes here as leaders of the party because they have the preference of some authority and others.
Okay.
And when the system does not check itself, they don't admit the truth to so many issues, you allow people who are hypocrites to mislead you. That, again, is one of the factors that I've seen. But like I said, the ruling party that everybody considers viable, it's only on this platform we can win an election now. Everybody wants to cut corners that are being part of the reasons.
Okay.
Now, above all, there's a very high level of indiscipline in the system. Everybody, you just say, for example, now you stay in the pick somebody who you don't know how who he is in this area, say, you go and be the leader of that ward or local government. And some person gets there because he believes that they have been sent from above. Because he relates with those who are actually on ground. And they start to bully on them to look down on them. There is one thing in politics. What you are not, you are not. You can pretend here at the higher level, the urban area. But people within this urban area, the area you live, you know who you are. And so it is worse for them, for such hypocrites in the rural areas. In the rural areas, they ask of whose son is that person?
Okay.
What is the hand? When you mention some person, they are able to look at the family, looking at where it's coming from and that. Or who has it been? What has it been to this community? So when such persons that the communities highly respect, when they are being marginalized, they are being excluded, and people believe that such persons are the ones that are being punished, not knowing that it's a party that is going to suffer in it. But they believe that after doing all that, during the election, they will mop up everybody and say, I don't know, forget about the past. Those things don't end just like that, because even your followers, they say, what have we got for? I think those were some of the, but I'm happy, like also that the national has been trying to at least also
resolve the issues.
Some of these issues.
But do you think
how much it can work is a serious challenge and all that. So then where the camp is, who just come from one party, opposition party to the ruling party, because of their discussion, they are backing with the power that they just believe that they go back to their word and hijack the system, and then begin to tell you this. They will just sit here and say, this one is going to be chairman, not even bothering about their credibility, about their acceptability to the people and all that. Those are some of the challenges that we have. As it is, some people will look at it and say, well, we thank God our party is busy because it is because it's viable. But somehow, if it's not properly managed, it could backfire entirely.
Okay.
I also condemn in all angles the issue of persons using thugs, people shooting each other and all that. So, because to me,
it's supposed to be a family affair.
When I look at even between you and another, between one party and the other, I believe that if the actual drive, what motivates you into going into politics, is to serve or develop the area and all that, you will not be that desperate to say you must kill to, like you invited me here now. If you didn't invite me, I would come and say, first I know I must be there and all that. It is very complex across such things. If I believe that you value my contribution, it is you that will look for me.
Exactly.
But for me to now go to an area and say, I have to just do it, you get yourself armed, you go to all that and so on. That is why you find that people like us, you can never find us with talks, you cannot find us with arms and all that, because at the end of the day, you just find that those who do such things normally regret it in the end of the day.
Okay. Thank you, Comrade Godwin Rahon, for your contribution on the show. We're looking at the fallout of the APC Congress across the country. We'll take the thoughts of Bishop Akalame, who is a politician based in Edo State. What's your take? Do you think what has happened has polarized the APC?
Well, you see, what has happened in the country
Yes.
has called for worry.
Okay.
Whether, if we're really practicing democracy, because an issue that's supposed to be a family affair
Okay.
has resorted to violence, has resulted to a lot of issues that are from the basis of debate today across the country. It's an issue.
Okay.
The APC Congress that we held across the states were characterized by impunity, characterized by, how will I put it, maneuvering of election. The display of resources, naira and dollars, that we say they are scarce, just to woo voters. Then one begin to imagine, what kind of democracy are we now practicing? Violence, a lot of issues emanated for these congresses. I give you an instance. You just made mention of something that happened in River State. Don't take a look at what happened in River State, where 2 persons were shot, and a member of House of Representatives was arrested for a family affair. Go to Bauchi, where the speaker, Dogara, came from. Parallel congresses were held in such states. A show that's supposed to be a show of family show has turned to violence. Go to Imo here. The governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, was overpowered, was outsmarted by the political gladiators in his political party. He used to say something and it come to pass. But in this case, he said it did not come to pass. Because all the gladiators, they came together. They said, instead of us to settle it outside, we must settle this issue inside. When he saw it, that it was becoming very difficult for him to handle, he ran to Abuja. That the Congress should be cancelled. The APC chairman of that state was interviewed. He said the Congress was held without record. So you can begin to imagine where people begin to think about a position. It does not work if you say you are practicing democracy. You must allow the people to get who will lead them. By the time you want to say, oh, this is the person I want to impose on the people to lead them, that means you are not ready for democracy. It happened today in Anambra State too, when a serving minister was about to put into the Ghana must go and zip up with electoral materials. A family affair. You begin to imagine what is actually going on. What I've seen, it was a show, a demonstration of political rascality. I will say we are practicing democracy. The question that comes to my mind is this: if a political party that said I've come with what is called a change mantra, that I want to do something different, I want to polish and rebrand democracy in Nigeria. I think that was the reason why they come aboard. Then who was the party that was there for the PDP? Now, they accuse the PDP for election maneuvering. But what we are seeing now is that they are perfected, they are even more perfected in election what? Maneuvering. Wuru-wuru for wuru-wuru. Mago-mago for mago-mago. Dollar for dollars. A lot of issues have gone that people begin to see that are we really in democracy? The only thing I have to say is that, like what has happened in Imo State before, where you have the PPA and the ABGA, through which Rochas Okorocha came as a governor. And today, in Imo State, it's now APC. If care is not taken, if they do not put their house in order, if they do not manage their internal democracy very effectively, what played out in Imo State, where Rochas Okorocha came aboard, may happen in different states of the country. Even what you are seeing now, all is not well. Even from what has happened in the Congress, even in Edo State here, the report had it, even the battle chairman of the APC, national chairman, they did not even participate in the exercise in Edo State, but it was peaceful, as we said. Oh, go to Kogi now. Are you now saying that Dino Melaye's camp and those in the government of the state, they are the same camp? These are not just where. Look at the primary election that happened in Ekiti State. We are discussing the APC Congress. Look at the primary election that happened in Ekiti State before they now came with another date to what? To reorganize a fresh primary election. So a party that said they want to bring sanity to democracy, they want to bring change, the real change we are talking about, begin to display this political rascality everywhere, then what hope do we have if the party that is holding power at the central begin to display such abnormality in democracy? Then what hope do we now have for this country?
Thank you, Bishop Akalame. Comrade Godwin Erahun, Mr. President, in his wisdom, actually advised the National Working Committee of the APC to ensure that congresses are held, officers are elected. Would you say, with all that has happened, the offshoot of the crisis in different states, in Ebonyi, in Kano, in Ondo, in Kebbi, in Kogi, in Delta, in Kaduna, in Katsina, would you say the president has made a mistake for asking the party to organize a Congress?
Well, first, before I go into that, let me quickly explain certain things our friend talked about concerning the national chairman being absent at his World Congress.
Okay.
The truth was that the national chairman was around, and they were able to harmonize his word.
Okay.
They harmonized and agreed on a list, so there was no controversy over it. And as a national chairman, I haven't succeeded in seeing that harmonization done. Okay. He had more pressing national issues than just going to the field to go and join the army doing affirmation. All these crises we are talking about, it is on the head of the national leadership of the party that the pot is boiling. Okay. And therefore, it wasn't that he abandoned it because he didn't want to be there. Well, yes, back to the question you asked, Buhari didn't make any mistake. He didn't make any mistake in asking the National Working Committee to ensure that the congresses hold. Yeah. Well, if there is no way that the party could have done without holding the congresses. It is without congresses, you cannot go into the nomination of candidate proper. So this is where, when you talk about congresses, delegates who are going to vote at various levels are nominated, except at the world level where every card-carrying member is a delegate, sort of. Then delegates are elected, then officials of the party at the various organs of the party are also elected. And therefore, the president didn't make any mistake. Neither did the National Working Committee also make any mistake. But I agree entirely with my friend who talked about the level of intrigues and all that. Again, I had explained it earlier that you don't need to be afraid that what is happening in APC will happen in APGA and all that. Normally, it is those who hold the ace. The Benin will say is the person who is holding the corn that the Pharaoh and others would run after. Yeah. It is because it is a ruling party controlling up to 2/3 of the number of states in this country, and also the federal government. That is why everybody is desperate. They want to belong. They want to be part of it. And so it is how it is managed that is going to be the problems. Okay. But I also agree that some of this level of indiscipline and desperation have been tolerated for too long. If areas where there have been crises, there have been disharmony, the serious effort have been made in the past to harmonize them. what you rightly refer to as impunity would not have also so dominated the whole system like this. They dominated, they were able to degenerate to this level because those of them who, like I said much earlier, were fond of going to, for example, in Edo State, somebody who is not on ground in this area, he just comes into the party, because he has made the power that be, they now say, okay, you just go and be leader there. With that arrogance, he will lack the wisdom and courage to bring everybody together and say, gentlemen, I have come here, but I'm one of you. And all that. They start raking. And so there surely will be resistance. Or you are a governor, like the case of Okorocha, you sit down and say that either you are going to import political appointees from other states where you were before, or it's going to be a family affair. You have your wife, brother occupying one position, and so you exclude all the real gladiators, the real fighters in the party who are the grassroots managers of the party. You exclude them from governors, and you expect that to be well, and then you are raking on who will succeed you. It might be your son-in-law and all that. There is no way that the people will not revolt. And I assure you that in the case of Imo State, the crisis will end up building the party better, because it is the people that are taking over the party from one man who has endeavored to personalize it. And so the seeming fall, or the problem of the dilemma of Okorocha now should serve as a lesson to most of our governors and most of our other leaders. There is no need being desperate. Democracy, we have said, is a system that should be controlled by all. It should be an all-inclusive. Don't be too arrogant because you are in position. You say this one, you just hear more about this one, crush him. Then you don't want to see people. At the end of the day, you will regret it because power does not last forever. It's transient. Yeah. We have had several governors in this state, and so now that we are alive, God granted us long life. And even after ours, there are going to be several governors, rulers, and presidents, and all that. So,
okay, thank you, Comrade Godwin Iraho. Now, I'm going to get back to Bishop Akalame. Now, something happened during the Congress of the APC in Rivers State, and that necessitated a state broadcast by the governor of Rivers, Wike. But the issues remains. Crisis allegedly between the former governor, who is now a minister, and of course a senator. But we understand that while one group allegedly decided to get an injunction, a court injunction, another group allegedly too invaded the court premises, and a judge was chased out of the court. It was a disastrous scenario. Now, do you think that's a threat to democracy in Nigeria, Bishop Akalame?
Yes, it's a threat to democracy. You see, like what I just said, what is the aim of all this? Is desperation. When people become so desperate, and you begin to do things that are out of place just because you want to get something, you want to get power, then that is a threat to democracy. That's why I told you initially that, in as far as I'm concerned, what I am saying right now, this is not democracy. Because if you allow the will of the people to prevail, let them choose who they want. I see no reason why people will go to court to get injunction. I see no reason why people will be threatening themselves with what we call actions just because you want to get power by force. These are the issues we are discussing. If you allow the people to choose their leader, there will be no need for you going to court to get injunction, because it is the people that the leader will represent, not you that is imposing. Because what we are now seeing in Nigeria democracy is that we now have leaders who want to impose leaders on the weak, who have nothing to say, because they want to remain them forever. Because if you want to remain in power forever, because now if you look at what is going on in the country, is that once you are in power, you disqualify, you have no access to go back there. What you'll be looking for is somebody that will be there, that will be answerable to you. So if you cannot get that person to be there just because of the action of the people, then problems have started.
Okay.
That is what is going on in the country. That today, if you see anything going on, talks will just take over the whole exercise.
Yes.
Like what happened in Oyo State. When the whole exercise that took place in Oyo was enveloped by what? By talks. So we begin to see scenarios like this just because of quest for power. The question I normally ask is this: if you want to remain in power forever, what about the generation following? These are the questions I normally ask. If you want to hold permanently to power, what about the generation following that you say they are the leaders of tomorrow? Why don't you have served? If you have run out of ideas to build your territory, whether in a state or nation, you give way. Let other set of leaders take over, bring on board what you lack. Day by day, we now say we are practicing what democracy. Let those who have what it takes, what it takes to develop the country, let them put it on the table so that we can begin to move forward. Yeah. By the time you now say no, that you must be there forever. Now that the constitution does not allow me to go to hotel, that I must be somebody that will be answerable to me to be there. That is not democracy. Okay. It's rascality. So if we begin to learn from this, I believe in the near future, not now, in the near future, we cannot say that we are practicing what? Democracy. I listened to one of the sister stations the other day. If you look at the cases in the court now, because of power, you marvel. Why are Nigeria so desperate? It's not as if they want to fix their problems. They are not fixing problems. They are desperate because of what they can get into their pockets. If you are desperate to become a leader because of what you can gain, the time of reckoning will come, and when it comes, you will never escape the judgment of God. That is what is happening in Nigeria. If you see a leader that has what it takes, I want to build this country, I want to develop this country, you will know. When you now say a leader, he doesn't have what it takes to turn this around. You don't have the potential. What you have, you just want to be there so that you enrich yourself, like what is playing out in the country. Because a black man believes in one thing, that the reason why you go there to become a leader is to become rich, rather than fixing the problem of the people.
Don't you think that's a wrong mentality that needs to be
You see, we can never learn. Do you know why we can never learn? The issue is this. It's more than what we are discussing right now. Because people want to fix people in power. Once we are being fixed, one, you will be taking our scarce resources into your pocket. You will be taking our scarce resources to what? To ensure that these people that put you there will be satisfied. At the end of the day, you will have nothing left. You have nothing on the table to fix roads, to build schools, to give our students bursary. That is why we are still where we are today. What we need now, if I say revolution, is not fighting. We have to have a brand new leadership. A brand new leadership. People, leaders that have the fear of God. People that have pity on the weak, who cannot defend themselves. People that have, leaders that have gone through the stages of life. My brother, it takes a man who has gone through the stages of life to know who is hungry. It takes a man who has gone through the stages of life to see a young man who is looking for a job. Before you say something, you say, this young man is looking for a job. How will you think when a man from the beginning to where he is today, they normally put him on a private vehicle to school. They will move him back to, he doesn't know what is hungry. So when you are telling me you are hungry, you are complaining, say, how come? Is it possible for somebody to be hungry? So when you have that kind of person as a leader, you see, agony, suffering, poverty becomes what? Inevitable. That is what is playing out in this country. The only thing we need now, at this point in time, is God. God. When God intervenes into our problems, they will begin to see what? New things. Because if we leave it the way it is, my brother, there is no solution to the problem facing us because we are greedy. Desperation. You want to become leaders. You want to be so rich. That's the only way you can be respected. That is how a black man will tell you that is how you can be respected. If you have change in your pocket, you'll be respected. So when you go there, instead of facing the problem, you begin to siphon the money. That's exactly what they say. One language number, they begin to romance our problems. But the point is there, they romance it. No light now, there's no electricity. They romance it over the years. Unemployment is there, they are romancing it. Unemployment is still there. Poverty is there, they are romancing it. Poverty is still there. Education sector has dwindled, they are romancing it. It's still there. Health sector has dwindled. So who are the ones suffering? The weak. They cannot travel out of the country.
The government makes statements, pronouncements of how they are trying to fix all this.
You see, this is what makes me angry. If you say you are a good leader, you don't need to talk. Just do something. When you do something, you now come and say, oh, this is the reason why I have done this. Because I know my people have suffered a lot. We have seen leaders over the years who speak, give us talk, give us so many things. They are not doing anything. There's never a time we have never heard anything from government. We are going to bring heaven down to the earth. We have seen all these things. What we need now is action. Action. You see, a lot of things have gone wrong. Our doctors have moved out of this country. Why? Because of the medical infrastructures. They are not okay for them to serve. They are there. Their welfare package is very poor. Workers are there, they work, no salary. Some of them are suffering, they can't even pay their salary. Today, if you have a child in a higher institution, there's a problem because now you can't pay the school fees. The school fees is because they don't want the poor people to go to school. Because they know when you go to school, you will acquire knowledge that will make you to know what is wrong and what is right.
No, I interject there. The federal government wants people to go to school. That's why they are doing all the different policies, bringing out different policies, feeding children in school to ensure that they motivate, they encourage children to go to school. Mr. Akala, I want to thank you for that. We'll come back to you, but let's get the thoughts of Comrade Godwin Irahan. Now, with what has happened, with the fallout of the APC Congress in different states, do you think Nigerians can trust the ruling party APC in 2019 if they can have this kind of crisis, myriad of problems and thoughts allegedly of the APC attacking the courts in Port Harcourt, Rivers Judiciary Division?
Well, first I have told you that most of the things that happened, or some of those things that happened, are highly condemnable, and I condemned it now to the end of time.
Okay.
But be that as it may, I don't think it is any reason whatsoever for us to have fear about the credibility or ability of the APC as a party to lead Nigeria beyond 2019. In the first place, whether you take it from Imo or you take it from Rivers, all these things that are happening, the actual people who are involved, where are they coming from? You look back at where they are coming from. And so when APC merged, it was a mixture. I don't want to say it was a bed of unfriendly fellows, or how do we say? So, but let us. I don't want to look at that. But let me say that there were people from different background, politically and culturally, and all that, and so on. And so, in politics, there is no recruitment in politics. Now you can talk of mobilization, everybody come here and others. You don't, even if the person is a prisoner, the best you can do is to make sure it doesn't occupy if it's an ex-criminal, it doesn't occupy a good position. What is important is the number of votes you are able to get. And so, like I said, for every ruling party, because of the greed that permeates the whole system, there must be this kind of desperation. So that one will be managed at the end of this primary. And let me tell you, personal experience, for example. In my own ward, after the merger of APC in 2013, you have, I was the chairman of the Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, in this state. And we go to our ward, those who were close to me will say, don't allow this person to be your leader. The leader, the person who is posing as a leader now, you are our overall leader. Meanwhile,
Your party
we
has merged.
already have somebody on ground who was leading one of the legacy parties as a leader, and the person was doing very well. And this is somebody who I believe is the most generous politician in the whole of this country, if not in the whole of Africa. Because one man who supplies the textbooks for all the PPUs, over 4,000 PPUs in all the primary schools in the world, all the government primary schools and others. Such persons being a leader of a ward should be respected. And so when people were when I was going to compete with him, I said no. At the meeting I said, well, gentlemen, me, I'm not desperate. I'm not sure to be the world leader or I'm even state leader and other, whatever position that God gives me is right. But desperation, I don't want it. But some people, as they came in and said, how can you be leader where I am? I was a chairman of, after all, the formation of APC in this state started with 4 of us, the 3 former chairmen of, the chairman of the 3 former legacy parties, and then the governor, before we brought everybody and others. But that didn't make sense. So that is what many of our people lacked. It is not necessarily the culture of APC. It is a reflection of the character and even the understanding of the average Nigerian. It happened before. We saw something in this country before. We had an election where the president said, this election is a do or die. We had it before. And we also had an election where, a situation where in an election is coming, people, it's not a question of how popular you are, but the use of force. They get there, you get their electoral, all the presiding officers and whatever, you hijack the material, go to the bush and write the result, the actual people will be waiting. Those are things that are backfiring now. Because most of those who were involved in those rigging, carrying of ballot boxes into the bush to go and write, they became enemies of their communities who would normally wait for a whole day for nothing and they would not see balloting materials. And so for such person now to go and face their people is difficult.
Are you saying such people now, they are in the APC?
They are in all the parties. But normally because the APC is the ruling party where they believe that food is ready, many of them will also want to come in. But the ability of the leadership to manage such the coming in of such people who really don't have the socialist philosophy, surely is the main challenge of how to manage. Because it's easy for somebody to just come, I'm in charge, say, you're a commissioner before, this is very important. The person may not even be known in his place, may not even be have committed a lot of havoc in the place and others. You just rated him based on what he used to be. Or you appointed somebody a commissioner, they say now you are now a leader in your local government. In democracy, parties, there is the supremacy of the party. Party, you have what they call party supremacy. If you are a state official of a party, when you are discussing party management, the commissioners are supposed to listen to you. They are not supposed to be the one to dictate to you. The members of the National Assembly should not just assume leadership over people who are the grassroots mobilizers. Those are the conflicts that are reflecting in APC in a situation where you just say somebody has been elected, the party now belongs to him, whatever he likes to do, he do with it. If somebody has been elected as a chairman or governor or whatever, anywhere he wants to pick somebody, so there is no more caucus. When the caucus meet, the people they know will have the courage to challenge them or raise issues. They exclude them from the caucus. People just get there, hey, tea and bread, food, they just eat, and then they say, you obey the government and so on. Those are things that, from our background, there is no way you can expect Comrade Idaho to be part of that. Even if you don't take what I'm telling you, you must grant me audience. You must hear my own. To say, don't talk, you can't stop me from that.
Thank you, Comrade Godwin Iraho.
Thank you.
I hope you are enjoying the program. Time is not our friend on the show. We'll be looking at plans by political parties to win the 2019 election. We are aware that some parties are already merging. Don't forget that the APC came to power just like what Comrade Godwin Iraho said. The APC is a major party. Now, some parties are also merging, believing that the APC did it, they got it right, they can also do it and unseat or win election in 2019. A lot of maneuvering. Okay, now to actually make this issue simpler, there is a coalition that involved the former president of this country, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, and he actually said that he's out of partisan politics. And the coalition was formed, the likes of Donald Duke, former governor of Cross River, involved. But now we've heard that that coalition has fused or has adopted a political party. But let's quickly hear the former president when he was visited by the former critical chairman of the PDP, McAfee, former governor of Kaduna State, where he told them that he's out of partisan politics. Let's hear the former president.
Before, I was in PDP, but not now. God forbid, say when a dog vomits, go back to eat his vomit again. No, I've said no partisan politics for me again. But Nigeria is my passion until death do us part. For our democracy to thrive and continue strong, we need strong party in government and strong party in opposition. It has to be that way. Otherwise, though the party in government will get away with impunity, and that is not good for democracy. So, chairman has come to greet me, and I greet him. So now that we have greeted ourselves, chairman will be going.
Okay, that's the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, who made it very clear that the issue of Nigeria as a country remains paramount to him, and that he will continue to interfere in the issues of Nigeria, but not as a politician again. Some persons were taken aback when Obasanjo's Coalition for Nigerian Movement, CNN, adopted African Democratic Congress, ADC, as a political platform to be deployed to win election in 2019. We'll start straight with Comrade Godwin Iraun. Plans by political parties to win 2019 election. Your take on that?
Well, first, I welcome them to the ring. So they have the freedom, they have the right to associate, to merge, just as we had, and were able to merge some years ago. But I assure you that the one you are talking about now, with being a product that is coming from the initiative of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, I can assure you categorically that it is dead on arrival. They are going to assemble, they are going to plan, but even before their primary, they are going to scatter. Their own will be worse than our own. Don't forget.
That's your personal opinion?
That's my opinion, yes.
Okay.
That's my prediction. Based on the fact that this political violence what you talked about, this corruption, started in the time of President Obasanjo.
Obasanjo fought corruption.
Within in the politics, I don't agree with you that he fought. When you're talking about violence, if you look at the number of persons, then Bola Ige, Harry Marshall, and others who were just killed just like that and so on, the level of violence and the politics then within in most cases within the ruling party, and then in the case of Marshall was in the opposition party and all that. So that type we are not seeing now. We pray we don't see it any longer in this country. By the time these people sit down to now say who will bear the flag, who is going to be the governorship candidate, who is going to be the House of Assembly candidate, because those of them who are going there are those who were not sure of being able to secure such ticket or nomination on the platform of the ruling party, which is the APC. That was how they get there. And I assure you that as soon as they start their nomination, they will scatter beyond what you are complaining about in APC now. And I also tell you that it is supposed to be very embarrassing that the president, just like the clip you just played now, I said he was not going to be involved in partisan politics. The first time he talked about this CNN, he said it is going to be non-partisan. It's not going to be non-partisan. Any day that it is going to metamorphose into go into a political party and others, he will back out of it. But he was the one now who also now pushed them into another political party. That will show you that first, it was not based on, the foundation was not based on solid philosophy. It was not based on conviction. And very soon you will get to know how these things came about. Okay. People what they have been benefiting from the system to exploit Nigeria, government now said enough is enough. Let this money go to the public treasury and all that. Then now say, oh, they must cut the head of the president and so on. So all those things, Nigerians will get to know about it. But you know, what we owe ourselves, Bishop came very close to this point earlier, is public enlightenment. Let us pray that the public get to see the move behind the action. In all cases. It is not just, I just come in and say, oh, I'm going to be in charge of this, I'm going to say, you're looking at who is Comrade Erahun? What has it been? Is this person credible or is it not credible? And all that? Does he have public interest at heart? Those are considerations that normally ought to determine whether or not we take them serious. But I assure you that APC will not bother at all about some SSFly or mosquitoes assembling somewhere to go and
political parties, maneuvering, measures going on, all plans by both parties to win election in 2019. We get Bishop Akalame, who is also a politician in a different political party. Now, ahead of 2019, what's your take about all these maneuverings and meetings?
Yeah, thank you very much. And I believe that we have a lot of political parties today in Nigeria.
Okay.
And I also believe that they are all planning to see how they can have their candidates in the forthcoming general election.
Okay.
But the only thing I have to say is that even as I'm talking to you, I belong to a political party where I contested the election in Edo State, People for Democratic Change. Okay. But the only thing I normally say, now today, I am the national coordinator of Movement for a Brand New Leadership. That is no longer a political party thing. This country, we need to revive it. We need to make Nigeria one of the best in the world. A situation whereby we begin to worship political party. We put the interest of a political party higher than the interest of the general of the country. Put the interest of the leader of a political party higher than the interest of the country. Is all this have to stop at this point in time. What we need now, a time will come, this election, that you see a PDP man, we vote for a candidate in People for Democratic Change. You see APC candidate, APC members voting for a candidate from PDP. You know why I'm going to vote somewhere? Because now we need credibility. We need people who can revive the country. The economic comatose we find ourselves, people who can bring us out, genuine leaders. Leaders who have the fear of God. A situation whereby you know that this man does not have what it takes to be a leader. Just because he's close to one or two persons in the corridor of power, you put him there. Whether he's doing what is right or what is wrong, then we begin to say a lot of things in advantage of that person. You know, we have to do that's why today in Nigeria we have a lot of psychopaths. When the leader is doing well or not, we say, oh, he's doing very well. So this general election is not about political party. Any political party that brings out a candidate that is not marketable, that is not sellable, that does not have the potentials to change this country, will be voted out of office. So we want to come together, look for that leader that can help us out of the problem we have today, so that our youth will stop running away from our country to other countries of the world that are not even as big as Lagos State. We need leaders like that. Leaders who knows that the first thing that you must do when you assume office is to ensure that the people are happy. Like I say on this program all the time, I said, the reason why we have government is to do for the people what the people cannot do for themselves. But when we now have a government who begin to do things for himself, while the people fix everything for themselves, that is not government. So any plan they are having right now, they should look for candidates that are sellable.
So what's your reaction to what former President Obasanjo is doing?
You see, what I have seen so far, as I was here just now, what I have seen so far is that it has really showed the insincerity among our leaders. That right from the beginning.
Don't you think the man is moved by passion for a better
There's no
Nigeria?
passion. There's no passion here. You want to say there's no passion here? Well, there's what is called consistency. You get what I'm saying? The way it calls consistency. If a man come to, if you do what is called indifference curve in economics, if a man come to like a product A, you prefer product A to product B. Then in the evening, you now prefer product B to product A. You are inconsistent. He said he will not engage in partisan politics again. And I heard him again when he said, if this coalition metamorphosed into a political party, and if he says it that the major reason why this coalition come on board is to become a political party, say he will back out. Today, the same coalition have fused into a political party, ADC. Even before the INEC will announce the date for the general election in August. So what are we now saying? Insincerity among our leaders. They will tell you one thing today, tomorrow they will tell you another thing. They will tell you that tomorrow they will be doing different things. We don't even know who to trust anymore. That is why I'm on the opinion that if you have served this country over the years, just go home and rest. Go to the back seat. Just tell us, just advise us what to do. It's participating now. What is it doing? Is that active participation? You come up with a coalition. You say, no, this coalition is not going to be a political party. Today we are not here that the coalition is now ADC. What is that?
Bishop Akalama, I want to thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll just take the parting words of Comrade Godwin Irahun on this show.
Well, first, I appeal to Nigerians, viewers at home, particularly parents, to teach your children virtues. Don't teach your children how to pursue wealth, but teach them how to be responsible, how to be godly, and then how to be self-sufficient, not how to become a billionaire. Don't teach them how to be greedy. It is greed that leads to all these ones. And I also appeal to my fellow politicians. What you know you will not use your children for, don't use other people's children for it. Giving poor people arms to go and fight on the street for nothing. We have witnesses in this state before, those who were used as thugs. Some of them are now abandoned, because once the power change and they are abandoned, those who use them will not own up that they own them. So children, be very careful. Don't allow yourself to be used by those who are training their children in the best schools in the world. Please value your life.
Thank you. We've heard from Bishop Akalame. Thank you for being a part of today's program.
Thank you so much, National.
We've also heard from Comrade Godwin Irahun. Thank you for being a part of today's program.
Thank you very much.
And our viewer out there, I hope you've enjoyed today's edition of the program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. We looked at the fallout of the APC Congress across the country. We also looked at plans, maneuverings by political parties to win 2019 election. I want to thank you for your time. If you enjoyed the show today, keep a date with us next week Thursday. By God's grace, we'll be here with a different set of discussants who will be talking or dissecting national issues in your interest. My name is Ego Sagbola, signing off. Bye-bye.